Two. Welcome in, folks. Welcome in. Thank you all so much for being here. We surely do appreciate it. I hope you're having a fantastic evening. It is Saturday, so you know what that means. It is Covet Syndicate with the homies. How y'all doing? Thank you so much for being here. Hope you're having a good day.
Doing great, buddy. Always a
Hello.
Hello. Glad to hear it. Well, first things first, everybody welcome back Jihan to the campaign. Hi, Jihan.
Welcome,
there.
Jihan.
Welcome back, buddy.
It is I.
So nice to have you back, man. We missed you.
Miss you guys too.
Yeah, man. Same.
Let's do a. I like the way that I fashioned. I like the way that I fashioned it before we started. Let's get a supernatural recap of the story so far. Whoever wants to go in whichever order. I think Kanan would probably be best to start because probably going to stick out the most in your memory, being that you were there for the beginning.
Okay. So, once upon a time, a land far away, in the world of Ismira, there's a city called Blackwood. Kanan, she, young half-elf bard from the city slums, and her elder brother, just trying to make it, But one day he disappeared, and she got taken into the Bard College. And eventually she grows and meets, what was her name? Was it Rachel?
No, now I'm blanking on her name too. It's been so long.
It was literally over a year ago.
What was her name?
Oh my god, it has been, hasn't it?
The first character that you played in this campaign, Natalie, was a
Fearbolg
druid.
Yeah.
I don't remember their name.
I am blanking as well.
Okay, well.
I meet the Fearbolg in the city. She gets taken by her handbag. I'm like, stop, leave. And then I help her out, and we're like, hey, you want to party up and make some dinero? And then she's like, hell yeah, brother. And we make our way to the Mercenaries Guild and get our first assignment after... did we go to Mercenaries Guild or the Bazaar? Bazaar?
You had to take a job under the table. But we don't need to get down to that fine granular detail.
Okay. So we do our first mission, and we go to is it Kagraness?
Yep.
The dwarf city under the mountain. And it's a good old time. We get screwed over by our employer. I find a crocodile that I call my son, Bumok. And we saved the city of Kagranez. It was amazing, actually. That us two just meet on a street in Blackwood. We don't know each other from and then we save a city. And we it was a goblin. Yeah, a goblin. A goblin horde under the city. I think it was called Goblin Stomping Day, and
He's not wrong, you guys.
That is what we called it.
And
Goblin Stomping Day.
we're heroes after that. We get our little coin, and it's actually pretty important. It's like an adamantium coin.
Yep.
And it's like we're like the best of the best. We meet.
It denotes you. It grants you citizenship of the Dwarven Kingdoms, essentially.
And we meet the queen of the land. Talia. We meet her there the first time.
Yep.
She was like, "What's up?" And I was like, "Yo." So we we eventually leave the city as heroes, and my Fearbolg friend finds a mate, and
A Goliath,
she's
man.
it was a sad time. I think that's when Kanan started going down the dark road, because that really hurt. So she goes back to Blackwood to find the people who wronged her and the fearable girl, and we get back to a what was it? Starts with a L, I think. We find him and take care of him, and we actually employ him, and we find out
Vincent is his name.
Yeah, Vincent.
Oh.
We get all the information, and we find out there's some bad stuff, some bad juju, like vampire people, and they're trying to kill us. And we actually started a syndicate, a Covet syndicate.
If you will.
if you even.
A Covet syndicate, even.
And I think that's when we meet Zarn and.
Zarn was actually there at Goblin Stomping Day.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Oh yeah, she or he. Wait, they.
At the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They were there, and they were just like, "Well, I have a coin too, you know. I'm a hero," and we
That's what happened.
and that's this is where Zarn usually takes it.
Yeah, go ahead, Zarn.
Okay. So like you said, we ended up with our little Covet Syndicate, which originally was a tailor shop of sorts, which was run by a couple.
That was a front for the
Yes.
syndicate.
It was. I don't quite remember how we met Ashwell and
You needed
everyone
a
else.
stealthy person for a job to rob a Empire caravan.
And you employed me as
Yep.
a mercenary.
That's right.
To make the clothes.
So we did that, which turned out to not be a great idea because we were robbing Empress Talia.
Shame.
That came back to bite us
Shame.
in the butt. During our time,
Can you turn your mic up, by the way, Natalie? It's just
Move
cutting in and
closer?
out. Yeah, it's just cutting in and out.
sorry. During our time there, Kanan met with the ruler of Blackwood and found out that he was wanting some fine clothing for an upcoming party festival thing. And Kanan was like, I got you. I actually own a tailor shop, so I will make you some fine clothing. That's actually why we robbed the caravan, because he wanted the best fabric, or she wanted the best fabric possible to make his clothing. So he went ahead and made the clothing and decided to sneak into the festival in disguise so we could steal something. I don't remember exactly what it was that we were trying to steal.
Yep. So one of the things that y'all left out there, which it's no problem. It is a bit integral to the story. Is the Fey courts have been kind of allying themselves with you one by one. The first was the Spring Court, which introduced themselves with our very favorite Swan dressed Faye. I'm actually blanking on her name right now. I know it's like an old lady name. Then
The big tree guy, what's his name?
Hyperion
on top.
and
Yeah. The guy on top.
Count Nemus.
Count Nemus. Yeah, Count Nemus.
Yeah, another thing we kind of hand waved over. But yeah, the Fey courts have been kind of involved more and more as time has been going on throughout this, and eventually to the degree where we'll get to where the Winter Court sent a representative themselves in the form of one of our other players, but we're getting ahead of ourselves again there. I will leave it to Zarn to continue where you were, unless you want to hand it over to Ashwell.
Oh, if you could just remind me what we were trying to obtain.
Oh, that's
at
right. That's how we got started on that. The summer court, or excuse me, the spring court told you that No, I lied. It is the summer court, not the spring court. It is not the budding court. It is the exile court. They told you that they needed you to get a ancient codex that has been written with the express purpose of control over time to a very high scale or a very granular degree. So you were kind of given this assignment to go down into the depths beneath the castle, to the ancient ruins of what used to be there, which was an elven city, but the elves were like way bigger back then. And you were there to get that book.
Yes. So we did end up accomplishing that after a lot of difficulty, because that was a pretty intense dungeon.
That was when we met Vaunt, too.
Yeah. Yes, we ran into him there, who he was trying to retrieve something that had been taken from his family. A sword, I think it might have been?
Nope.
No?
An
Hard
orb,
work, too.
as I recall.
An orb.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's not an
that's
orb,
right.
it's a crystal.
The crystal, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Crystal. He didn't end up finding that as well. After we exited the dungeon, we went back up to where the festival was
Leaving out
taking
another
place.
Huge thing there.
It's been a long time. I don't know. What am I missing?
The vampire.
Be an opportune time for Nick to drop in and take the story, but he's still not here yet.
Yeah.
Indeed.
The first vampire, yeah.
Yep.
I was going to say, yeah, we did have a, I believe, as I recall, Empress Talia's, I believe it was daughter?
Yep.
Or, yeah, it was her daughter, and her dragon friend arrived. And
That's what I was getting to.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Well, that's
Yeah, I mean, go ahead and
fair.
take it over, but you know.
Oh, no, I was just chiming in for that.
Well, I don't know what Derek says missing then.
I mean, she was there, but you were skipping past the dungeon. You did see her before you went down into the dungeon, and though you guys were in the dungeon for like a few days worth of time, it still only felt like you were there for... when you came back, it had been as if you were only there for like a minute. And while you were down there, you guys, when you found the book, you kind of unleashed something. That'd be the first vampire.
Right.
You made a friend!
Yay!
Now,
Death hugs for everyone.
go ahead and say what you were going to say about the old princess there.
After all that, we got back to the party. We found out that Empress Talia's daughter, Quill, had come by with her retinue, including a dragon who can read minds. So we actually all had to get some rings that can block mind reading. And she basically told the was he Lord of the
Baron.
lands or a different Baron?
Baron von Zarovich.
The Baron of the land, that he had taken
Not
too long
Zarovich. Holy
to...
shit, that's Strahd's name. Oh my god, I've been playing Strahd for so long. Holy shit. Oh my god, I forgot his name and I just replaced it with Strahd's name. That's hilarious. Sorry, Natalie.
Now I blanked. What was the last thing that I said?
You were talking about the Baron.
Yes. She told the Baron that he took too long to swear his fealty to the Empress, and then she basically noped him out of existence. And then we all got out of there, which led to the fight where my sword was taken and Zarn was killed.
Fight.
Goodbye,
You guys,
goodbye,
Yeah.
Zarn.
And then
you got critted on.
yeah, then
Yeah.
resurrected as the Yuan-Ti people are capable of doing, and was in their female form. So I'll
So
let someone take it from
basically,
there.
basically, you got put in a Lazarus pit.
More of when Zarn was a male, bonded his soul to a female other species, and if one of them were to die, the other can allow them to be reborn through their body and just shed their skin. It's like a fail safe that all Yuan-Ti pureblood have built into them.
Cool.
Sick. I guess I can take over.
That would be a
here.
perfect time for you to take over, Elmi.
All right. So, after that, we realized we were, at the time, on the wrong side of a lot of adversaries. The Covet Syndicate had managed to, through its manipulation and sneakiness, establish itself somewhat as a relatively dangerous element in the city, and apparently the city was starting to push back. So we began to expand the Syndicate in response to that. Meanwhile, as we continued to encounter greater and greater threats. Demons attacked us in the middle of the street in broad daylight as assassins. We had to play that off and ended up burning down a small chunk of the Merchants District just to draw cover away from us. We eventually, after Vaunt began to build himself a tower locally, our Thieves Guild began to expand. We realized that if we were going to continue to build in power, and especially in this city, which was now firmly under the grasp of Empress Talia, we were going to need a place elsewhere to operate out of, lest we incur a lot more risk. So,
Minor.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. It is under the grip of Talia, but one, Talia's not here. Two, it was
Right.
kind of her daughter that took it over, and she's off at war. And three, the most important thing, and the reason that I interjected is because it is under the firm grip of the first vampire. He is ruling
first
over that bitch. Like,
Fair. Very fair. Either way, we are not really welcome as much in that town anymore, and we need a place to operate out of that'll allow us to build a power base without, at least in the beginning, without much opposition, or minimal opposition. So we set our eyes on the northeastern section of the map, the territories. There was a small town, seemingly abandoned, or a moderately large town with a keep that we had heard had been left to ruin, though reasons why were vague and uncertain. We had other business in the northeast anyhow, so we rode out there to take a look, as we did. And after being on the road for a great distance, and Derek began to fill in a lot of this because we had a lot of encounters along the way, including but not limited to Ashwell making contact with and achieving a psychic link with Hugger, who is a gray render, a thing that I think surprised the entire party, including myself, because I rolled a nat 20 and I didn't expect that.
I like how you included Hugger, but not Kira.
As we're getting to that, you're more important than Hugger. Kira,
Clearly.
you know, his priority lies.
Yeah. Look, I remember very distinctly that you were there. I remember because we met you, most importantly, along the road there. And I'm actually going to turn it over to you from this point onwards, because all we agreed on at this point was we were heading to the northeast. We had other tasks to do. And when we got to this location, we were going to fortify it and build it into, hopefully, a keep that me and Zarn can work out of. And inevitably the entire Syndicate. But, Kira, if you'd like to pick it up from there.
I guess.
Look, your introduction should be yours. This is your stage. Take it.
I guess. Okay. Well, it was around that time that Kira joined the party because members of the this kind of includes like the time that Kanan left the party. I wonder why. But basically, Kanan and the party had unfinished business with Persephone. Kira, being a priestess of, or priest, whatever, of
Cleric.
Persephone, yeah, cleric of Persephone, came to fulfill that unfinished business and assist the party and grow Persephone's influence in opposition to Queen Talia on the planet of Ismira. We had some more road encounters where we came across one of Talia's palaces and we were threatened not to fuck with it. I can't remember his name. What was that guy's name?
Sword Saint Calcifer.
That's it. Thank you.
God, what a badass.
He talks like whispery.
Qualcarad. That was the name of the place that we stopped by. And we sort of got tangled up with this creature called Kugoth, which was this like monstrous troll. And we ended up having to hunt him down before he hunted us down. He stole Darwin,
Yes.
if I remember
Not
correctly.
cool.
Poor Darwin.
Yeah, Darwin got fucked up.
He's Metalbeard now. He's fine.
Bro.
And Darwin Metalbeard.
Darwin Ironbeard.
Never sit on a pirate's face.
What?
What?
That's the
What?
Metalbeard joke. It's Lego Movie. Did you guys not realize I was making Lego Movie jokes every time I called Darwin Metalbeard?
No.
I was
haven't
making a
seen
Lego
that
movie joke.
though.
Oh my god.
You're such a nerd, Omni.
I am. Go watch Lego Movie. Anyway.
I've seen it, just not enough
I don't-
to reference it.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I've seen it too. I just don't remember that part. I don't know. Whatever.
Sorry, anyway.
Nerd. Anyway, so while we were fighting Kugoth and all that, Drabs was kind enough to redeem a divine intervention. And nearly TPK'd us.
Mm.
Then I can't remember who saved our asses.
Kier.
Somebody saved us. It was,
my
oh yeah, it was
God.
Kier. Kier saved us and also redeemed a divine intervention, so that all of a sudden Titan we acquired disappeared.
Fight for another day. Back in the toy box.
Yeah.
Let me see. And then we happened across the. Let me know if I'm forgetting anything, but we happened across the town of Mother, which was ruled by this sort of like a construct deity that believed that everyone needed to be assimilated.
Yes. I remember that very
Not
well.
necessarily assimilated. Everybody needed to strive for perfection.
Yeah.
To the
Close
degree
enough.
where it was detrimental in a lot of it.
Yeah, where they were to the point where they were killing children. Oh.
Assimilating them or transforming them into Warforged, as I recall, right?
That is only in specific circumstances.
Okay. That sucks even more then.
And nobody liked that, but we were pretty outclassed, so we couldn't really do anything about it.
Ted
So we were
says, "Someone bad talking my mama. My ears are ringing." Also, that's his. That's Ted. Hi, Ted.
Hi, Ted.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're fine. Oh, somewhere in there, I can't remember exactly what it was, but Kira had a very in-depth conversation with Whisper where they found out that Whisper was a death priest.
Whisper being my apprentice, which I guess
Yeah.
we could gloss over, was that Ashwell had started an order of assassins and had
Hey.
drawn from the youth, I guess, to do it. So
That-
there we go.
That's on you. You glossed over your own story, not
I
me.
wanted to. We had so much to cover. I figured we'd get to this stuff eventually.
Everybody's definitely getting the inspiration, so I don't mind so much the weaving and bobbing as long as you're not bothered by somebody cutting you off.
Sorry.
I'm furious. Fuck
How-
you, Omni.
How dare you,
Fine.
Omni?
You have. Let's not talk about your drow or the fact that we have like a whole order of demons, and apparently, I think Vaughn has an like an ancient. Is it a vampire? Can't remember if it's a vampire or some.
Hey, look, I don't know all of Von's things. Nick hasn't told me, so I can't do his story.
Oh, and Vaughn robbed us the whole time too.
Yeah, a little fuckhead.
Get a lot.
Yeah, he's bad news. I don't know about that guy.
And let me see. We finally ended up finding a place to settle down, but found out that it was completely infested with demon spores of Urlaku, which is Zagaboi.
Yep.
And we had to clear out the entire place and face a avatar of Urlaku, which was very dangerous, and we nearly got turned into mushroom people.
Oh, Last of Us.
Yep.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, we almost got the last of us.
Cordyceps, no.
What's that noise? What's that noise they make? Like.
Clickers, that kind of thing. God, yeah.
But we managed to clear that out. We recruited the orcs to be our buddies. And we got to do some really fun downtime where we all like built our own bases and grew our power and did our own thing. And now we have a little evil township full of hot elves and shady little sneak thieves.
Absolutely. Wonderful. All right. Well, everybody gets inspiration, so go ahead and mark that on down.
Woo!
I shall overlook you calling my well-disciplined disciples sneak thieves. Thank you very much. Now, Zarn, on the other hand, is more of a rogue than I've ever played so far. Thank you very much. I haven't taken a coin off of you all. I should sort of steal
I think Kanan's paid you well, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Ashel's cut in now. He's vested.
Yeah, my ass owns stock. I'm part of this.
He's on the board. That's amazing. Okay. Well.
I didn't talk about last session, but I don't know who wants to do that. Maybe Derek does. I don't know.
Sure.
That's the one. That's with the Warzone, right? The Call of Duty one.
Baby!
Hey!
It's the boy.
It's
Ooh!
time. Welcome, buddy. Good to have you.
So I was making stir fry from scratch, and I highly underestimated the time it would take.
Is it good?
It's delicious.
That's awesome.
Sick.
Then it was worth it.
It's got everything in it, man.
Hell
Snow
yeah.
peas, bok choy, bamboo shoots,
Ooh, that's a pop.
water chestnuts,
good.
carrots.
I'm gonna sip of my chocolate.
Bamboo shoots. That sounds good.
Where do you find bamboo shoots in Missouri?
In a can.
Oh,
Yes.
Bamboo can grow in Missouri. I had a buddy that had a backyard full of it.
Oh yeah, no, it's an invasive species in the south actually,
I don't know.
because we have a similar climate to the temperate regions of China and Japan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
This gamer
Well,
eating
you know.
trees.
Yo, I'm out here eating trees.
I'm
And
sorry,
hey,
I'm so
you're-
done.
And you're just in time to tell everyone what
Yeah.
happened in warfare, Red.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
I kicked fucking ass. That's what happened in warfare.
Hell
No, but seriously, Vaughn, are we literally just talking about the warfare right now? It's like,
Yeah,
we
we-
did
Okay.
literally story so far, and then we caught up to there. You can also talk about like other stuff that you've done in your past leading up to that, before that, if you'd like.
Okay, well, it all started when I was born.
God.
No,
For the second time, you don't have to get
We're
to that
gonna be
level of
here a while,
granular detail.
no, I wouldn't want to spoil Vaughn's tragic backstory of being a loner.
Oh, no.
But
Who would have guessed?
Yeah, who saw that coming?
surprise!
shook.
Anyway, Vaughn made a deal with the the Lady of Hell, rather, and she said, "I will give you an army, but if you die on the day of the war, I have your soul." And Vaughn's like, "I'm not fucking dying, so that's stupid." And that just looks like a win for me. And Vaughn's spine cloud literally just absolutely terrorized the battlefield. I got to kill almost every single turn. And his archers, his orc archers, I got to give them credit. They were pretty freaking powerful. Like if they weren't killing something, they were lining up shots. So,
You are welcome.
Yeah.
huh? I just work here, man. I don't even know what you're talking about. But let's see. Yeah, the war was won, but the battle was won. But then we had our own. We had to fight the general, and the general decided to come in 3 phases, and then I had some reverse horse plinko, where I had my
Yeah, don't leave out the horse plinko.
It's important.
I had my aura boss. I launched him up with my magic missile so he could punch and grab onto the thing after it turned into the it that rides at one, and beat the fucking shit out of it. But yeah, I don't know. I think that sums it up pretty well. Everybody else obviously helped, but Vaughn did most of the work, to be fair.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
We were
no,
all
it's-
like, please, Bont, help. We're overwhelmed without you.
It went to slow-mo
You
motion, and
might have
everybody was
been.
like, what? And they're like slow-mo turning to you as you just like use a first level spell.
Vaughn, you need to save us. What do you do? Magic missile.
This is literally like
One
one of those
damage.
anime recap episodes where every character tells a perspective. And there's the one guy who gives himself like the Chad chin and literally just does everything, and everyone else afterwards is kind of like,
That's not how that
okay,
happened. But,
sure.
I mean, I guess
that's the way
kind
to
of.
remember it.
Yeah, Vaughn in his imagination has this like really like sexy British voice, like, "There, soldiers, we need to save our brethren." Just like Vaughn's like, "I actually sound like this." Hello.
That's amazing.
Well, we love you too.
Vaughn,
Everyone else in the group is just like, we don't care enough to correct him.
Vaughn did get dressed for the occasion. He was wearing like a nice coat and a hat with like holes for his horns. Like he looked like a military. He looked the part.
Mm.
So
He's a snappy
basically,
That's the
dresser.
most important part of
Yeah.
battle.
Yes,
looking
it's the most
apart.
important part of war. You got to look the part.
That
But-
general has to look cool.
If
Exactly.
the enemy
Rule
sees
number one
you,
of
they're
war.
gonna be like, "Oh God, that guy looks like he knows his shit. We're not gonna mess with him.
That guy's got a
You-
cool fucking hat. He must know something that we don't. Like,
He's
You
far
left
too
out-
important for us to engage."
but you left out the most important part where Kira swooped in on a dragon and saved the day.
True.
That is a huge
Yes, that
deal,
was
yeah.
badass.
she like cleaned it up, after we already dealt with the mess. But yeah, no, I see what you mean.
It could have swung either way for a while, and that dragon literally saved us. As it was, I think Ashwell's forces were the only ones that took any serious loss, and that's because the second flight literally ate a cavalry charge. So,
Yeah.
you're welcome, everyone.
Well, you had it coming, to be fair.
You can have some of
Listen,
my
we
hot
did.
elves.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We'll rebuild. They were recruits anyway. It's fine. Unfortunate.
They don't matter.
You got them in on free college tuition. It's fine.
Some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm
I'm willing to make. Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to plug in my headlamp so you can see my pretty stupid face a little bit.
People die in war, as is tradition. Well.
Ready? Oh!
Oh,
Nice.
very nice.
There you go.
There we go.
Now in Technicolor.
Red, now in Technicolor.
You had a moment where you came in from the 1970s there and slowly gained proper coloration.
It's like Pleasantville.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, like the fucking...
tubes to heat up.
Like
Yeah.
a scene from WandaVision.
Red, now in Technicolor.
Very good. Everybody get your inspiration from that. Make sure you mark it so you have it.
Woo.
Wait. So did you guys win the battle?
No,
Yeah, we
lost
won.
Horrible.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
We're,
pretty.
we're all
like,
dead now and starting over the campaign.
That would suck.
The sequel
we-
to Covet Syndicate.
We won really hard. The like actual boss battle with like character combat was very difficult though.
Yeah, a lot of you guys almost died. Mostly because Vaughn kept using his reactions on stuff that didn't matter, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, you didn't use your fucking ward once.
Oh, yeah,
I used
you
it for
did.
me.
You did.
I used it for me. Yeah, it was for me. It's also
Uh,
my ward. I can choose to project it on other
honestly, the
people.
MVP of that particular battle, I believe, was Bon because she kept giving us cure wounds.
Love you, boy.
Yeah.
Mwah. Oh.
A momentary kindness.
Yeah. Ajax was
A
pretty
rarity.
scurry.
Yes, he
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
He
fever
beat
pitch
our
battle.
asses.
But you guys pulled it through in the end. Clutch as fuck.
Uh,
for sure.
At the beginning of the boss fight, I was just like, single mob boss fight, no mobs, interesting choice. And then by the end of it, I was like, please make it stop.
Legendary
there's a
matches
reason
are
why-
bullshit.
There's a reason why the name Ajax sounds like a cleaning solution, because figure it out.
Cleaned us up.
Yeah, no kidding.
Our party can't repel firepower of that magnitude.
But yeah, when Ajax was slain by Zarn, Zarn was able to reclaim her sword that she lost like 12 sessions ago or something.
Something like that.
So.
Too long.
Good stuff. All right, folks. Well, good job. Let's get right on into it. So it is a hazy and rainy day in Silkwater, and as the camera kind of fades and like pans upwards, we can see a large crowd of people gathered. And in this kind of unfortunate weather, it is a perfect day for rain, because we can see that there are bodies gathered towards the front of this congregation, and I am going to turn it over to Ani.
Okay. So, in the aftermath of the battle, imagine that the forces, all arrayed, are sort of gathering their dead and forming back up slowly into measured ranks, counting ammunition, food, and through that crowd, Ashwell and his first flight slowly walk, and the forces begin to sort of gather, being sort of compelled to sort of like, hey, we're meeting over here, and eventually end up on the northernmost outcropping of rock overlooking the bay from the edge of Silkwater, which, there you go, buddy. So Ashwell takes a moment and looks out over the expanse, and then slowly turns to face the large crowd of troops and just says, "What of you, right?" Sort of gestures behind them at the open water as it rolls behind the sun setting in the distance. Silkwater is a special place. There's something unique about it, and I don't mean its location, beautiful though it may be. He slowly turns to address the troops, and he slowly takes himself on top of a nearby rock outcropping to address them more clearly. You see, Silkwater represents something unique about the Syndicate. We are no kingdom. We have, so far, no banner to call our own. We don't share gods. We have no shared house or history, and little in common otherwise. He gestures his hand out across the surprisingly diverse gaggle of orcs and drow and elves and humans and literal demons. Except in one respect. We are, all of us, outcasts. And as he says it, his eyes begin to glow a faint purple, and the shadows around him begin to sort of stretch out from the rock. Exiles, as he gestures to the drow in front of him. Survivors, he gestures to the humans and to the orcs. Downtrodden, he gestures to his flock. And yet, ambitious. And as he slowly speaks, his voice gets louder, clearly carrying across the field. We represent something new on Ishmura. We are not gathered together for some great and noble cause. We are here to survive. Each and every one of us is here because this is somewhere for us. And as he says it, shadows continue to grow longer. Clouds begin to slowly build. And we're feared for it. What we accomplished today is no small thing. We brigands and thieves, soldiers of fortune, pugilists have defeated an army meant to exterminate us, not for crimes we've committed, but for the threat we represent to those in power. Each of you has bought us this victory. Green Eyes, and he points one of his hands out to the orcs, and the shadow from his hand almost stretches towards them. You do credit to your heritage. Your people will celebrate your ferocity today for generations to come.
They start slamming their axes on their shields and like, woo, 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 in the background, like slowly starting to build up.
He turns towards the drow. Those in the grace of Persephone, your skill and your valor have earned you a home here. You deserve this place.
We can see the elves on their spiders, like, and the spiders themselves begin like chittering this kind of like almost droning song, like as if they understand what's happening.
He turns towards the demons in the back. To those called here from realms far away, your prowess and precision in battle are noticed. Your masters greatly pleased, and your rewards well earned.
They take to the sky and begin shrieking, swirling around in this great black cloud, blocking out whatever sunlight might have come, forming this dome of darkness around all those gathered.
He turns towards the humans in front of him. To the motley crew, you are no longer brawlers and boxers, you are fighters. You have demonstrated mastery to match any professional warrior in this land. Let none ever slander you again.
They start shouting and beating their shields as well. We can see a number of them like playing on drums that they've pulled out.
He turns towards his flock in front of him in their black clothes, and a field of neatly arranged bodies and bags, brown sacks laid out, and only one or two scattered survivors. And to my flock, we lost many. The second flight is routed. And yet their sacrifices are not in vain. Your grit, your bravery, your losses, you have saved this place. Survivors of the second flight will refill their ranks, and in time, many more flights will rise.
They take out their knives and begin just like shing, 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 edge upon edge, making as much noise as they can.
We have much to celebrate, and yet we have little time to do so. And as he speaks again, like, he seems to almost grow in proportion. His mask's shadows getting deeper. His cloak beginning to flap, a pressure in the air building over him and over the crowd. We have so much to mourn, and yet no time to grieve. This was one battle, the first in a war. And as he says the word war, there's almost like a thrum through the ground. So we will build, we will train, we will prepare. And we will march to the door of those who underestimated us, and we will cast them down. Then as he says that, there's a gust of wind from behind him, carries across the crowd. And then, in earnest, we will grieve. And then in earnest, we will revel. And we will prove our attackers right to fear us. Because we begin here. For the dead, for the living, for Silkwater, for the Syndicate! And he pumps his fist in the air, and as he does so, the overpressure bursts, and it's just like a shockwave across the area of just like air pressing down.
Yeah.
And when everyone looks up, it's just Ashwell, fist raised, a normal mortal human.
The crowd goes ballistic. There's this like pause for a moment as like the pressure like just floods out everywhere, and everybody just kind of stops what they're doing. Even the devils flying through the air kind of like stop where they are. And then everything, as I said, just goes fucking nuts. There's this like unearthly shriek that tears across the land. And as we get this like panoramic shot, we can like even hear it carrying across the waters to where it can be heard in the capital of the Nagoran Empire itself.
Back to you, Derek.
Badass.
Good shit, Oni. Chills.
That was very good.
Thank you. I don't normally write speeches, but here we are.
That was a good one.
He stands down from the rock and begins to walk back towards the castle. And I figure this was literally like within an hour of that final battle.
Fantastic. Yeah, what do the rest of you do, Kira, Vaughn, Zorn?
Kira is gonna host a party.
Yeah.
Okay. How long were you going to take to organize this?
We'll just do it that evening, just kind of like throw it together as a celebration with the food and wine.
Yeah. The stuff that you would have had to hoard in case of, siege. Instead, you can just break into and enjoy. Yeah.
Everybody's invited, by the way. Not just our refugees. Everybody's invited.
It's like one night in Karazhan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Trying to remember what Medivh sounds like. There's a party and everyone's invited. So, I'm gonna get drunk off wine.
I tell my men not to drink too much because I didn't want them to heal quickly. I feel like getting drunk probably isn't going to speed that process.
Vaughn's like the guy at the party, like that meme you see of the guy like standing in the corner, like they don't know I'm a wizard. Like